upon our blades once more.
All right. All right. Hello there. Welcome to the new player guide to Retail World of Warcraft episode 10. My name is Yogurt and I'm your host on this journey. I'm coming to you live today from the Nightfall Incursion world event down in Hallowfall. I tried to record a little bit last night, but ran into some issues with the Twitch stream, so I ended up cutting it short. But I really want to get some gearing done before the weekly reset today. So I'm here with you bright and early to try and get some gear before the servers go down at 10 a.m. EST. So last night I did do a couple of things on this character that I didn't record, so I'm going to walk through those right now. The first thing that I did was pick up a quest in Dornegal that brings you to this Nightfall Incursion area. Every hour, there's a world event that culminates with you grouping up with a bunch of players and killing this final boss. And the event itself will have a chance to drop some veteran gear. So here you can see we got a veteran trinket, which we're just going to go ahead and equip. But if you pick up the quest, the Flame Burns Eternal, which is part of the introduction that sends you down here, the Flames Radiance quest, you can complete that incursion. It occurs every hour, but you can complete this quest once per week. And it's going to give us this Radiant Service Satchel, Valor Stones, Reputation, and Carved Undermine Crest, which are used for upgrading gear.
Always be prepared.
And we also completed this quest, which gives us a little bit more rep. And in this satchel, you can open it up and you'll get this Radiant Emblem of Service. So you can get one of these per week, and then you can use that on this vendor here, Rain Dawn Cavalier, to turn it in for weapons or armor, or this vendor over here, Vesper Churn Mode. So you can see there's some trinkets and one piece of armor in every slot, and it is champion level track. So champion track is equivalent to normal raid gear. And I'll catch you up and we'll talk about all of that in just a couple of minutes. But I wanted to do that now because I just happened to log in at the top of the hour, and this mace is very good for outlaw rogues, so we are going to go ahead and pick up this weapon first and foremost, and it's going to be our primary weapon for a little while here. So let's catch you up on what happened yesterday. So yesterday we were logged in, we were item level 658, and we did a couple of things really quick out the gate. So up in Dornegal, I'll just head back there now so I can kind of show you. Up in the Isle of Dorn, we picked up we went and did a few world quests. So those are quests that are now available since we finished the campaign. If you open up your map, you're going to see a bunch of little like dots that indicate when you hover over them, they'll give you a quest objective and a reward. So if we open up the map, we're in the city here. But if we go out into the Isle of Dorn, we can see this little quest here that's going to give us 100 reputation. This quest here that's going to give us a Sky Racer's purse. There's a quest here for a sword. We can see down here in Hallowfall, we could go do this quest and get a pair of gloves that are about 50 item levels higher. They're the Explorer track. So world quests are a nice quick way to get some gear, but we're going to talk about an even faster way to get just like a full complete set of gear to get us started in just one moment. The other thing that we did while we were in Dornegal, a couple things have changed. So the first thing that we did was we picked up this quest over here from Dagran Therusian in the Delve area. And he has a quest for you called Disc Belt. Something information system container. And the requirements to complete this quest are to complete one overcharged delve. Overcharged delves are delves that have these little electric currents around them. You can complete the overcharged delve on any difficulty level. So we just went and did it at level 1 to do it as quickly as possible. In that quest, you need to kill 4 pylons within the overcharged delve and complete the delve. Once you're done, you can come back here, turn in that quest, and receive this durable information securing container, this disc belt. The disc belt is a great first thing to do because you're never going to replace this, at least in season 2. You'll replace it eventually in season 3, but through follow-up quests like gathering an upgrade, we can actually go back into overcharged delves, get an item that will increase the item level of this belt all the way up to item level 401. So it's like the highest item level piece that you can get. And the other thing about this belt is that it comes with different enhancements. You can find the best enhancement for you to unlock and use by going to your Wowhead guide or looking on Archon. I outline a bunch of this stuff in my endgame gearing guide that I just put on my YouTube channel. And you can go to one of those resources, find out what your class and spec is using, and then to unlock these different enhancements for the belt, you just mouse over to see which overcharge delve or which delve you need to do, and all you have to do is complete the delve on any difficulty. So for AoE, Outlaw Rogue uses the charged crystal. So we went and completed the Nightfall scenario at level 1, or Nightfall Sanctum delve at level 1, and at the end the chest had this charged crystal power. We used that, we right click on our disc belt, and we were able to select that. And you can switch between different ones too, like for Outlaw Rogue, for example, one's better for single target, another's better for AoE. So you can go and grab the other ones and toggle between the two if you'd like. And then the other notable thing about this belt is that it does come with a gem socket. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about sockets and enchants in a little bit, probably in the next video, because right when we're starting out, we're going to be replacing gear so quickly that it's not really super critical. The other thing that we did while we were up here is we talked to Bronzebeard to pick up this weekly quest called Delve's Worldwide Research. And this is going to reward us with a pinnacle cache when we complete 3 of any delve. So we did 2 already. We did 1 Fungal Folly to unlock the belt and Nightfall Sanctum to go get the power that we needed. We'll try and knock out 1 more just so we get this pinnacle cache. Our first weekly cache awarded us with this champion trinket, which was great. So we equipped this and upgraded that slot. It's nothing special. It's just higher item level. So 636. We got this veteran one from the Nightfall scenario we just did from defeating the final boss. We got this champion track weapon from turning in the scenario. And our goal right now is to just increase our item level up to 606 as quick as we can, because we want to do a couple of things. We want to try and do a +2 dungeon, and then if we can, we want to queue into this looking for raid to try and get some tier pieces to help with that. So the best way to get a good set of gear kind of like right out of the gate is to go and continue the current campaign. So we went through the main story season 1 campaign, and they left us with a bunch of different quests. So the fleet arrives is the quest that we were literally standing in front of when we finish the campaign, and that just continues some slight story as it relates to season 1 and the rest of the arrival of the Horde and the Alliance to the new land, and the finishing story of Queen Ansarak. Lingering Shadows and Survivor's Guilt go through with Illyria and with Khadgar and talk about those storylines. Trouble in the Highlands is the latest in the campaign. It's the Rise of the Red Dawn. It's a scenario that starts here in a quest chain that starts here in Dornagal. We'll do that eventually, but there's not a ton of gear that's associated with it. There's some Valor Stones in there. Most of it is just story. Undermine, however, when opportunity explodes, this is what will trigger a cinematic when you log in the next time. And this is where season 2 is. It all takes place in Undermine, where we are fighting against Gallywix, who has betrayed basically all of us over the past couple of expansions, and is working with Xalatath. So what we want to do is head down into the Ringing Deeps, and we're going to start with that campaign quest. And that campaign quest is going to give us two things. It's going to give us gear, so it's going to help us upgrade all these other slots of equipment, and it's going to catch us up on the story. Why are we going into the Undermine? Why are we fighting Gallywix? So our goal today before reset, which occurs in 2.5 hours, is to try and get that 606 item level and to try and do a mythic +2 dungeon. So one of the things that I ran into with that, in order to do a +2 dungeon, we either need to queue into one, which is going to require us to have some sort of item level, or we need our own key. Normally you can go talk to a vendor, but I think you have to get a key for the first time first. So we either have to do a Mythic 0 dungeon or somebody else's Mythic +2. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spend an hour doing the campaign, seeing how far we get. There's going to be other benefits to doing this campaign too. In my endgame gearing primer, I talk about crafted gear. So at the end of this campaign quest chain, it's going to have us kill Gallywix, and you can accomplish that in a number of different ways. One of those is story mode, and one of those is LFR. And when you kill him, when you finish that, you will get a enchanted Undermine crest, which you can use to craft a piece of heroic gear. Weapons are the most important for us, so what we're going to do is we're going to pair this champion track offhand with a hero track main hand. We're going to craft that. But let's just get started with the campaign here. I'll take it from there.
What's cooking? Well, I just handle the paperwork and try to stay off the Dark Q's radar.
Back, this is bad. But at least I'm not in the South Mines.
Somebody wanted a hole in the wall. I don't know who, but it sure wasn't the Dark Fuse.
Get out there and get to it. Nice chat. Now get a move on.
Let nature take its course. I fear I know what they are digging up. Let us be sure. This is black blood. They must be bringing it from south.
I want the head of whoever brought down that wall. The goblin who brings me the culprit.
So here you can see,
And a corpse at the Galatio.
right when we start combat, you'll see this like flash of purple, and that is the additional effect of our weapon. Your first melee strikes against an enemy slam them and nearby enemies with shadow damage. Outlaw Rogue is a slightly unique class in that its stats aren't very good. They don't have an impact really on its overall damage. I mean, they do, but so they like to utilize a lot of trinkets and weapons that have some of these additional effects, because they don't get as big of a benefit from their stats as other classes, which can be good and it can be bad. Because you get to use fun stuff like that weapon, but at the same time, there are outlaw rogues doing the highest levels of keys, 20s and 21s, that are
Oh,
using this champion track weapon, which doesn't feel super great. Like, it's good to upgrade
South.
and be using the highest item level stuff.
In my vision.
What do we got here? We need muscle, dark fuse muscle slain. And worker time card inspected. I'm glad we did that Nightfall scenario first. That was a huge upgrade for us in terms of damage output. You can see how quickly we're killing things. And then you'll see here when we turn in these quests, we'll get our first piece of gear.
What's the holdup? Do what?
So let's get what
We
you
got some
need.
Valor Stones. We'll talk about those too.
As a tip.
Oh, I thought one of those rewarded a pair of pants. Am I crazy? Ah, it was this one.
The roots brought us
So
both.
597. So we're gonna get, we just got the
Black blood
legs
in my visions.
and we got 50 item levels there, and we're just gonna continue to get more
About a tour.
as we complete this scenario that brings us into
Fine. He's there though.
the Undermine.
Show us what you got.
Sure thing, boss. This way. On your left.
So Crest and Valor Stones, these are currencies that we use to upgrade gear. We'll go up to the upgrade vendor eventually. We actually want to start upgrading this weapon using all of our carved and rune crests, because we're going to use this weapon for a good long while.
Everybody move.
But crests and Valor Stones can be found under the currency tab in your character panel, and crests and Valor Stones used in conjunction allow you to upgrade gear along these tracks. So you can see our weapon that we got is champion 1 out of 8. I'll put a link to a chart in the description of this video, and it's in the description of the
Wait. Oh, Wayne, are you okay?
it's in the description of the endgame gearing guide too.
I must have a closer look.
But the gear from different activities
For you.
drops at different
You have
levels.
found me.
So champion comes from normal raid and from certain levels of Mythic Plus dungeons and Mythic Zero dungeons. Above that is hero track that comes from heroic raid and higher level Mythic Plus dungeons starting at +6. And then myth track is obviously from mythic raids, the highest level there that is available. So if you get a myth track piece of loot, that's going to be the biggest one that you can get. And then below champion track is veteran gear, which you can find in some overworld activities. You can get it from a lot of weekly chests. You can get it from the LFR difficulty of the raid. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can get veteran gear, but it's the lowest that's out there. And so the crests that you have available are also, the crests also determine, what do I have to do? Oh, it's over here. The crests that you have in your currency tab also upgrade different pieces, and you can actually see where they come from. So weathered crests are used to upgrade adventure and veteran gear in the War Within Season 2 up to item levels 623 to 632, earned from repeatable outdoor events, Raid Finder, Heroic Season Dungeons, Delves. Carved crests upgrade champion track gear from 636 to 645. You can get them from weekly outdoor events, normal raid, mythic dungeons, Delves tiers 6 and 7, and Delvers bounties tier 4 and 5. Runed crest, this is the heroic version. You get these from Heroic Liberation of Undermine, Mythic Keystone Dungeons from +2 to +6, Delves tiers 8 to 11, and Delver's Bounty tiers 6 and 7. So there's multiple ways that you can get crests, but each one can be used on a different amount of gear. So they've tried to make this system as simple as possible. Valor Stones are then just this like additional currency that you will use to you'll use as kind of just like it really serves no purpose, but it's a cost in addition to this. So Valor Stones cap out at 2,000. A big sort of complaint from the community right now is just the concept of Valor Stones, how it doesn't make sense. If I need 60 crests to upgrade something, why do I need 200 Valor Stones on top of that? So it'd be nice to see them change that eventually, but there's been no word yet.
What needs fixing? Do what you gotta.
We get things done. Oh, it's lonely at the top.
Ooh, I got fellas.
Hold up. I see a goblin I know. Hey there, friend.
What you got? Yeah.
And then there are a few tiers of gear that are below the champion and heroic track. At the champion and veteran track, you'll see that's the kind of gear that we're getting from these quests. So these pants are on the explorer track. This is really like the explorer and the adventure are base level tracks. Their upgrade currency is just Valor Stones. You get these from quests. I would never, if you're planning on doing Mythic Plus dungeons or raiding in any capacity, like veteran gear is very easy to get. I would never waste Valor Stones upgrading any explorer gear. You really don't need to. You're gonna replace this just naturally from doing the content. So don't spend your crests on that stuff. The other thing about crests that's an option for you is that eventually you can, and you'll learn this from the upgrade vendor, upgrade NPC, is that eventually you can upgrade crests and you can trade crests down if needed. So eventually when your item level is high enough, you will be able to trade all these weathered crests that you're going to accumulate from the world. You can turn in 45 of them to get 15 carved crests. And then as you continue to upgrade your gear, you can just keep upgrading the crests, but you have to hit certain breakpoints before you can do that. So you have to get, all hero gear in all of your slots. And then when you when you outgrow the use of carved crests, when you can't upgrade any more pieces past item level 645, you'll be able to upgrade those into rune crests. And then when you can't upgrade anything past 658, you'll be able to upgrade your rune crest into gilded crests, which are the mythic level.
Oh, then it's business, is it? Will that do now? Help me save my folks from the dark fuse and this job, and I'll help you shut it all down.
We are aligned in purpose.
My engineers.
So we're accumulating some more allies here.
Got 'em undermine. I won't.
My visions are clouded. I need to clear my head.
What now? Break time? Headed back to the station.
Oh. We just killing spreed so hard that we disconnected. Hope we're not dead. Oh, we're almost dead. And he regained all of his health. We're just gonna vanish. Just go back to killing these blood ticks. One of the other things that we're going to need to do before we jump into any groups is we're actually going to need to update our talent build.
Whatever.
Because we we're no longer leveling. And so what that means is there's better talent builds out there for group content like dungeons and for content like raids that will give us more utility. Right now we're just doing a bunch of like open world stuff, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But one of the things that we'll want to do before we like head into LFR is just pick out a raid build. Oh, I didn't see him here. Hello. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect us this time. Cool. And looks like that completed that quest for us. This completed this quest.
Thanks for saving me.
You see some herbs. I've been neglecting our herbalism, so let me go pick up this altered Orbinid. And we hit level 25, so we unlocked our first profession specialization. We'll have to do a second video or session that's just all about crafting and professions and stuff like that. Because there's a lot to unpack. It's a whole different version of endgame that you could enjoy if you really wanted to be a crafter or a millionaire, your choice. Almost forgot this quest. So we gotta do a little bit more here. We gotta kill a guy and loot some goo. Now we need 12 of these chill burst canisters. They drop from these slimes and they're available on the ground. I didn't even see that slime. Hello. 10. Oh, this being hurt here. So, vanish and turn in the quest. And this is just the introduction to Undermine here, so we're gonna unlock a whole new zone in just a little bit.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real. What now? All parts are This'll be a snap. Bilgewater is on the job.
The real effort begins now. Let's do it.
I can see weak spots in the pipeline. I will mark them.
Loading up the chill burst canisters. Come on.
Here we go. Well.
Bilgewater on do. That might have been more satisfying than a big explosion.
What you got? You got...
What now?
Undermine needs someone looking out for the little guy.
We cannot let black blood spread.
Have a good one. Keep it real. Be good. What needs fixing? You got business in Undermine.
So Resnick is just trying to convince Gazlo to go back into Undermine. He doesn't really want to. He thinks that place kind of stinks.
I got your papers. Just tell her you're with me.
You got a problem?
And welcome to the Undermine. So the Undermine is the whole new zone theme, raid, new dungeon for season 2 of the War Within.
You got a problem?
Pamsy said...
Very goblin oriented, as you can tell. It's the Goblin City, and you'll find a bunch of different themes here, from hotels, gambling, casinos, slums, pollution, racing, all sorts of like different tropes that are related to goblins in World of Warcraft. Not necessarily goblins everywhere.
This ain't my home. Not anymore.
They'll start you off by getting you your very own
Excellent.
car.
Let's head inside the hotel.
So you can't dragon ride in the Undermine. A unique thing that Blizzard likes to do is give you stuff and then take it away because they want you to feel immersed in the zone, which I understand.
Interesting.
So instead you get a hot rod. So this basic orientation quest introduces you to some NPCs that you'll want to know where they are. Smack's Top Skimmer is the renowned quartermaster. Katie Racketeering is in charge of aligning with the cartels, and then this guy Pax Top Skimmer is the innkeeper. So one thing that is a little bit different from the regular renowns, there is the Undermine renown, which you unlock, but then you can also build reputation with individual cartels. And through the campaign in the liberation of Undermine, you will learn more about the different cartels. Their rewards are just they're cosmetic. There's no power tied to them. There is a cool toy that, if you remember the Noggenfogger elixir that we were using when we were leveling, that comes from the Steamweedle cartel, Marin Noggenfogger. And you can unlock a toy that allows you to use that. So I'm just gonna pick this one
Good stuff.
as our first contract.
Overtime.
But you can visit each cartel's quartermaster as part of this quest. And then Gas, Grimshank, he's in charge of shipping and handling. That's just a little event that's here, where you can take your hot rod and drive around and do essentially deliveries to gain small rewards. There's a bunch of different reward items in here. And the really cool part about us doing this now is we're going to get bonuses to the renown, so we might actually get some inadvertent increases and potential items for us to use. So we're already at renown 3 with the cartels, so we got some valor stones. We can do the scrap event, and we unlocked the renown itself.
Get some quick pictures of them. There go the dark views, doing their doing bad thing. Go do your doing good thing and make them stop.
And the Dark Fuse are kind of like the 4th cartel, and they're the bad guys in this. Essentially, we'll uncover why they're bad as we do these quests. Now, the other thing that you can do for gear, if you have more gold than I do, we have about 13,000 gold, which isn't bad. It's better than I thought we would have just at the end of the expansion, is you can buy gear off of the auction house. You saw, actually, I don't know if you saw, but last time we were playing, we looted this 603 Explorer's Cloth Belt. So there is Explorer's level gear that you can purchase off the auction house. Which would allow us, with 603 and a couple champion track items and the belt like we have, that would allow us to get in pretty quickly and go into LFR. But gold is a little bit precious for us right now. I picked up the quest that I started doing the bonus objectives, so I definitely shouldn't have done that. Now I need to kill 12 more. Gold is a little bit precious for us because we're going to be using it to buy crafting reagents for like our weapons and stuff. So that'll be an interesting hurdle to overcome.
You did your thing good, champ.
Sweet.
Now maybe they won't come back.
So completing that, looks like it was actually a world quest that we were doing over here, and that had 606 bracers. So we're going to equip those, because 606 is exactly the item level that we need. I think what we're actually going to do, because we really, really want to get a +2 done, is we're at 586 item level. It's still relatively low. What we're going to do is we're going to start queuing for dungeons. So I just pressed I on the keyboard, and I'm going to go to pre-made groups, and we'll click on dungeons. I'm going to click find a group. And we have this +2 mother load that's here. I'm just going to try and sign up. Looks like there's only... Oh, it's under Mythic, I see. So we're going to set our filters to the Season 2 dungeons, which are these ones at the top, and our filter to Mythic Plus. And I'm going to refresh. I'm going to report a couple advertisements. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to search for the word. We're going to type in 2-2. So any key, level 2. And we're going to change the filter to damage roll available. So there's only one that's available for us. So we're going to sign up to it. And we're just going to keep refreshing this list to see what comes up and what's available. And we'll keep questing.
I'm on it. Get it done.
Laszlo, how could Gallywix do this? What's up? Have a good one. Yep,
We'll check back a little bit.
That's what it is.
And so this sort of like beginning of the campaign, we're really just like going around and seeing like what has happened since Gazlo's been gone and not in the Undermine anymore.
Standing up for themselves.
That's the spirit. As they say, there is no rain in Undermine. Isn't really a sun either. Hey, Nikki! Venture works for Gallywix now. Why are Darkfuse here?
Wow.
Cause Darkfuse keeps you nobodies in.
You can't treat our own crew like this, Nikki.
I ain't like you. I'm at the big table. I'm going places. You're the one who gets to stick around and mop up this mess.
So here's another world quest that's going to give us a couple more twos popped up. So another world quest that's going to give us a 606 cloak, which will be great. So we want to complete this while we're here.
Grimlaw sent you? She's a good one.
Venture was always a rough job, but it seemed better before Gallywix came to town. Nikki wants a shortcut to the top, but we do all the work for it.
We got another weapon. We actually don't need weapons. These are lower item level because we did some world quests. So we're just going to grab the one that gives us the most gold.
Gallywix's arrival brought out the worst in some goblins.
And now we have this quest to kill these spy copters. They actually hit somewhat hard, and this guy is going to town, so we're going to join him. Try and kill things together. These spy copters actually hit pretty hard, so we're not going to go super crazy with them. Whoa! Okay, the enforcers hit really hard. Don't let them snipe you. Make sure you interrupt or stun that, whatever it is. Oh, we just looted another piece of BOE gear. These are leather legs, so we might actually equip these. I'm just going to hold on to this. So this BOE gear could actually sell on the auction house. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of hold on to it, keep it separate. It's like I said, gold is going to be a bit of a commodity for us, so. Excellent. Attack this guy. Didn't mean to. Oh, now I pulled everybody. This is good. We're going to vanish. Get out of dodge. Just going to outrange him for a second while I look for this cloth belt. There it is, cloth belt. We gotta do some cleanup here, I think. this in. We still want to get that cloak, so
Off you go then.
I have never seen a place like this.
Wait till you see Uptown.
before we continue the quest, we're just gonna finish this world quest. Almost feel like the weak aura is broken a little bit. Anyways, 606 cloak, that's great. Big upgrade there. We're at 591. We're making our way here. We're gonna check our dungeons. Reroll this. Operation Floodgate +2.
So, your
This is
path
the Oceanic
leads you here.
realm, but we don't
Wild guide
care. We
away.
want to get
I
into
caught
any
the
group that
scent
we
of
can
black
this
blood in a
morning.
small storehouse. We must hurry.
I have
Another
more
one just
deliveries.
joined for the Priory. Eventually, we'll go through all these different dungeons. So,
What's the damage?
so this quest right here, these important quests, this is going to give us access to our own hot rod. So meet Nanny Tallulah on the 3rd floor at shipping and handling. So that's where we're going to head next. It's on the way. She's right up there. Check again. +2 workshop. And the reason nobody's letting us in here is just simply because of our item level. It's just not high enough, which is fine. You know, eventually somebody will just grab whichever folks they can, or our item level will just get a little bit higher. So,
What? You never seen a goblin lady this gorgeous before? Conversation's free, but an autographed headshot? Well, darling, that'll cost you.
so we got the breakneck. I'm gonna add it here under Shift F9. And the breakneck is a unique vehicle. It's only available in the Undermine. And it has sort of this like drifting capability to it. So if you hold down the space bar, you'll actually drift when you turn. Honestly, in my opinion, it's a little friggin' annoying to drive. Apparently, it gets better with enhancements that you can make to it. So you can buy off the auction house or collect in the Undermine these different like parts, and you can soup up your vehicle. So if that's something that interests you, you can absolutely customize it. And I've heard that it makes it a little bit better to drive, but I just prefer to never ever drive around the Undermine. I'm not sure what's up with our weak aura. It seems to have broken.
All parts accounted for.
I'm just going back to Wago on my separate monitor here.
All over it. Let's pay Rebel Gaz a visit.
This little arrow that just popped up, this is for the shipping and handling
Hey, look,
portion of the
we're
quest.
all friends here. You're my pals, but it's undermined. You want something, you give something.
forensic and I'll stay with rebel gas. We got catching up. Everyone here works for a bigger fish. And you can't just steal secrets. Smuggling confidentiality, yeah. Loose lipstick ships. Like I couldn't.
Actually, sorry, this is normally this arrow is for shipping and handling, but this is actually because we've completed the quest license not required. The next step to that is to go look at the drive system, and so this is pointing us back in that direction. So we'll go back there eventually, if only to get rid of this main arrow. But right now I want to complete this quest because I'm in the area. Kill these folks, take down these posters. Should have been doing the posters first. That's classic quest behavior. Ah, of course. One up there, looks like one more on the far side. So if you're doing this quest, Liberation of Undermine campaign, definitely prioritize the posters. Those seem to take the longest. There it is. There is another world quest over here, but it's awarding another cape, which is a lower item level, so we're not going to be doing that.
So, what's on deck? Set sail. Keep an eye out for squalls, huh?
Some boots, 597, another upgrade.
Yo, be good.
Try to queue for some more dungeons. Look at all these bus twos.
I'm getting a closer look. Don't start too much trouble. I don't want any blowback from this.
We can sign up for 5 groups at a time. Now they want us to go all the way back here, but we got in. We got into the +2 Theater of Pain, which is great. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to pivot here. So we need to go and head there. So they're just waiting for a healer. Just gonna drive over to the drive system, talk to this guy. Access drive. And we install some turbo boost or whatever. So we're gonna do our first dungeon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head in that direction. So there's a nice little portal that goes from the Undermine, Underporters. That goes from the Undermine to Dornegal. It's right over here, kind of near the entrance. We just got our healer, so we want to get moving. And this is great because this puts us in the perfect spot, right exactly where we want to be. Because this one key,
What's the news? Keep cool out there.
this one key is going to give us a hero track piece of loot, which for us is just going to be an absolutely insane upgrade. So we joined a group. It was for the Theater of Pain, and the best way to get around to some of these dungeons, any of the War Within dungeons, are going to be, you walk to them, as is the case with all Mythic Plus dungeons. But the older dungeons are available in this separate area, this separate timeways area. So you can see these three portals. This one goes to the Motherlode. This one goes to the Theater of Pain. And this one goes to Workshop. So we're going to head into this one. They're also summoning me. I'll just show you what this portal looks like. But outside of every dungeon is a summoning stone. So you can summon, your group can summon you if there's enough, if there's 2 party members there. So we're just going to accept it. Took us, we poured it in right over here. It took us right over here. It's right in front of the dungeon entrance. So we're going to zone in here. And this could be a little interesting. I mean, we're pretty low geared, and they did invite us, which whenever I get a quick invite like that, it always makes me concerned for the validity of the group, but whatever. We just want to import that WeakAura really quick. Hopefully it's not busted. And then I'm just going to grab another one. It said swap myth. So, okay, so the dungeon's not on mythic difficulty. So we have to walk out. You can set your difficulty for dungeons and raids. We kind of talked about this when we did the transmog run. By right-clicking your character, and under dungeon difficulty, you can choose between normal, heroic, and mythic. You can basically always have it set to mythic because for dungeons you queue into normal and heroic. So you can see we kind of jumped the gun here, but like my recommendation would just be to try and get into +2s instead of even doing mythic 0s at all. You're going to get your own keystone at the end of this. And so what we're doing here is we did a ready check. They did a pull timer.
2, 1.
And the person put their keystone in. There's another timer for the start of the dungeon. We're the rogue here, so you can do a skip by using your Cloak of Shadows. You can bypass this pack. This guy can see stealth, so we're just gonna go and take care of him. And I didn't do anything of what I said I was supposed to do. I didn't go and get the dungeon build. I didn't change anything, so I really should have done that, but it seems like we're doing okay damage-wise. I mean, obviously, this is just like one single target. But we're in the Theater of Pain. And they just decided to just go for it, which is hilarious. So normally what you do in the Theater of Pain, or what, yep, there he goes. What groups will typically do is they will skip the first hack, just like we did with a rogue or with Imprison, and they'll bring that big Bloodhorn guy just like straight into the boss. Now the boss is what's called a council boss, so it's actually 3 different mobs that we're fighting at the same time. And hopefully this doesn't kill us. Ooh, God, that hurt. Sorry, I just want to make sure that our first dungeon here is a success. So on this boss, they all do different abilities. They'll send out this sort of debuff here that will do a lot of damage to folks. You don't want to overlap it with your partners. Come on, baby, come on. One boss will cast. He'll cast this Necrotic Bolt. One boss will do this Mighty Smash. It's an AoE, so we want to be using our Feint for that. Cool, we got one down here. And when you kill one, their abilities stop. And then another boss will do these Noxious Spores. So we killed him. And then this guy also does a tank buster on the tank, so... We did it. I don't think they needed to pull that Bloodhorn in at that certain level, but they did. Cool, he was good. So normally, yeah, they skip this first pack either with the Demon Hunter. He used his Imprison, or you can have a Rogue skip, or whatever skips you have available, and they'll pull that Bloodhorn into the Council boss. So I reinstalled that weak ward, put the horn back on as my main like indicator, so I need to turn that off eventually, but we aren't going to make any changes right now in the dungeon. We're just going to keep on going. So when you get down at the bottom in Theater of Pain, you have a choice between multiple wings that you can go and fight different things. So the wing that we have chosen sends us to a specific PvP boss, and on the way to this boss there are these different lieutenants, and the lieutenants can be skipped, which is what the tank was just talking about in the party chat. Some of the lieutenants, not this first one. So what you want to do is like stick close to the tank. Skipping in a +2 is like absolutely the most ridiculous fucking thing that I've ever heard. You don't have to do that. But you want to, with lieutenants, they'll have higher health pools. You can see this guy's taking a little more to kill, and their abilities hurt. So you definitely want to make sure that you're avoiding their damaging abilities. So this guy does an Earth Crush AoE that drops stuff on the ground. You just step out of that, and then he does a Tank Buster, Savage Flurry, which the tank is dealing with, and then he does this Whirlwind, which we definitely could have killed him if we stayed in. Yeah, I thought so. So one of the things with Outlaw Rogue that's a little fun is Killing Spree. You definitely want to be cautious of when you're Killing Spree, when you cast Killing Spree. Because if you cast it during that Whirlwind, you don't take as much damage. It does like reduce the damage and stagger it out over time, but it still hurt. So the trash mobs will differ depending on what wing you're in. Should I kick that? And so in this wing, you actually get a lot of these arbalist mobs that can be pretty annoying. They just sit here and like shoot you over and over and over again. And that sucks because there's nothing you can really do about them except you can hit them with a single target stun. So if you have one of those available, you can definitely use it. And then I would recommend, after prioritizing the big guy with a bunch of health, you go and God, I'm dying. You would go and target those arbalists. So this, you can see, it's a different lieutenant, has some different abilities. She summons these like whirlwind axes primarily on the ranged players. So we're gonna try and killing spree here, but we're gonna die. We just took a ton of damage from that. So I'm pushing all of my defenses just in case to stagger that damage out. You can see our damage at the start was like pretty decent, but we're kind of getting carried here. The healer's asking for mana. Our energy is our resources, our energy and combo points. Healers have mana. Shouldn't really be running out as a resto druid, but ooh, this is a pinch. This is a pinch we're in here. Save our cooldowns for the boss. So this was the first wing, so we actually went this direction, came around here, and now we're headed towards the first boss, which is Zav the Fallen. This is the second boss in the dungeon. Usually they do this one second because the next one that we go to we want lust for, so we use lust on the first boss. That's the big haste buff. So the healer's drinking mana, and this boss pretty straightforward. He has two phases. There's a phase where everybody's up here, and then what's called the PvP phase. So he'll send two people down to fight each other. I'm gonna let the other folks kill me because they are doing more damage. And then while he's up here, he'll summon a banner that we'll have to kill because it slows. There it is. He'll summon a banner that we want to kill as fast as we can, because it's going to slow us. And then shortly after summoning the banner, he does this like combo move where he'll do these three abilities in a random order. So he'll either AoE half of the arena, he'll do a column, he'll do a column of damage, or he will do a circle around him. So this is the PvP portion. Me and the druid got sent down. The druid definitely does more damage than I do. We want to kill this banner as quick as possible so that we can move during this portion. And our healer's dead, which is bad because we just started this fight and we just lost another person, the druid, which means that every time we go down, I don't think we can reset. Every time we go down, it's going to be me and the hunter, which sucks. Because that's going to leave the tank up here alone. Kill the banner. Yeah, that hurt.
Show me what you can do. My blade knows no equal.
I heard a rumor that you can crit more if you sit down, so I always spam the sit button. But we need to go in ham on this guy right now. He's doing this big ability, Hunter Dodge, which is great. Ooh, that was bad. That was bad. That was stupid, Yogurt. got lucky here. We got so lucky. Oh my god. And we got the big proc.
Fight for glory! My blade knows no equal.
Gotta kill the banner first. Got it. We're insane. This group's insane. So, pretty straightforward boss fight though. Summons a banner.
That was a good. Our challenge.
You gotta kill it because it slows you down. Then he does his AoEs and he does a PvP phase. Rinse and repeat. This will be interesting because that boss, the reason you do him second is because he's pretty easy. This boss that we're going to is a lot harder. So we'll see how that all works out. But
Look what we have here. Fresh meat.
with these folks, Withering Discharge is what we want to take care of. So we're trying to kick this, but having to manually set my focus. So these sludge spewers are really where you want to put your attention. Decaying Filth is not the most critical, but if you're a range player, staying in melee really helps because these guys like to jump on the range players. So if your whole group is all together, you're in the healer's AoE and they're not jumping as far. Obviously you need to move out when they die. But the Withering Discharge puts a big disease on the entire group, and so we want to make sure that we pick that as a top priority. And then you can also skip these gas bags. They walk at the same rate on either side, so just be patient. Unlike this group, just take your time and follow the tank as closely as you can. This is gonna kill us for sure. Because you can sneak by them when they're at the peaks of their pathing. So they'll walk towards the door, they'll walk away from the door, and you can sneak around them at either point, and just walk downstairs to the next portion. But because we pulled them, we'll get some more trash percentage, so we can talk about like the core fundamentals of like a Mythic Plus dungeon. So you have to kill all the bosses. You have a time limit. Whenever you die, there's a penalty to your time. That actually starts at like a higher level. And there's two core concepts really. You need to yeah, he's telling him to stack. Very true. Very true. It's always the hunters and them. You need to kill all the bosses, and you need to kill enough trash to bring this bar up to 100%. So you have to pull a certain amount of mobs. That's just how it is. was bad. That was a bad move by Yogurt. Keeping Cheat Death on cooldown, that's for sure. So you have to kill trash percent. We're at 61%. We still have a whole nother wing to go with more trash on it, but thanks, man. There wasn't a rush. We just had 2 people die. What do we have here? This boss is going to be a challenge for these folks. And that's okay. Bear with James. So this boss, Gorechop, he does an attack on the tank. He pulls everybody in, which you didn't notice probably because I'm in melee. If you're already in melee, he doesn't pull you, but he pulls all the ranged in. He summons 2 adds, and chains come across the boss arena. So we want to be cognizant of that pattern. Those chains and adds will happen after the boss brings us in. There are 2 gaps in the chains that you can pay attention to. You don't want to get hit by the chains because they will stun you and they'll put a bleed on you. And it can be okay sometimes, but really the fundamental basis with this boss is to just remain vigilant of these chains. The adds can be a little problematic if they stack up a little too much, but normally they just get naturally cleaved down. You can see here that I am not changing my target. This is another great example of the importance of like stacking up together, because these guys will jump out to the range and they'll jump on them. And so you want to try and be as grouped as you can, but it's really not that easy. It can be a bit of a challenge. So. But then you're in control a little bit more too, because the tank is going to be trying to mind those gaps as best he can. We want to be very careful when we're using our killing spree here. Looking for those gaps. They're all the way over here. It's kind of pain. But I'm so proud of this group. That was awesome. We did lose the balance druid once, but we're gonna say nice. And when we're done with that boss, we just grab this chain and pop on up. We're going to head to the last wing over here, just following our group. This starts with a bit of a gauntlet. So this area has these souls, and the boss is right over here on this platform, but we're going to take a long way to get there. He shoots these little things on the ground that'll hurt you. And the basic way to get past this is just everybody runs. You don't touch anything. You go around this corner, and then you start applying your AoE crowd control. But you want to line of sight them, and we're all gonna die here. Absolutely. I was not expecting them to pull this. Let's see what happens. We're just gonna hit Cloak of Shadows because we want to be in defense. I'll be darned. Thankfully, we had that marksman hunter who's just slamming away. And when he dies, he drops this orb. This orb then goes into one of these and allows you to pick your path through these different platforms to get all the way back around to the boss. If you're a tank, I think the general basis is to just go left. You put it in, there's a chance to do this twice, and you just put it in left both times. There might be something wrong with my kick macro. It doesn't seem to be interrupting what I want it to be interrupting. Which is a bit of a shame. So here's that second orb. He'll probably put it in the left one again. So all the trash on these platforms is a little bit unique. You can see these dark speakers, pretty straightforward. They will cast on people, and then they'll individual bolts, and then they will cast this like cone. And if you get hit by this cone, it will knock you off the platform. So don't get hit by the line there. Very bad time to use Killing Spree, so we're just going to hold off on that. So here's the last platform. We have 8 minutes left on our key, so this is going to be a tight one, but it does not matter too much for us whether or not we time the key. We want to time the key. We always want to time the key. That's how you get better IO score. We'll talk about that in a second, but whoa. For us, the real main objective of getting this done this morning is so that when servers reset in a little over an hour, we will be able to get a hero track piece in our vault. This last orb, when you click it, it just makes it so that when if somebody dies and they have to come all the way back, they can bypass all those platforms. So on this boss, you want to kick him, and he's gonna cast this Death Spiral AoE that has these things that rotate around the platform, and then he's gonna put these curses on individual people. So you don't want to stack them, and you just want to walk around the little orbs. And then the last thing he's going to do is these God, that hurts so many people. He's going to summon these ads. So you want to switch your target over and kill these ads when they come out. Please don't let me die. Oh, I almost let myself die. So this boss makes it a little challenging to Blade Flurry, because you can see I just stepped into that orb like 3 times. So yes, am I taking less damage? Yeah, But God, you just won't give up here on this Well of Darkness. And then there's also a tank frontal, so as a melee DPS, I want to be avoiding the tank's position where possible. Yes, yes, yes. Again? God. This guy wants me dead. We're just going right back to the boss. So if we kill him, it doesn't matter. Kill, 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 kill. We did it. So we have 5 minutes and 33 seconds. We still need 2% of the trash, which is super unfortunate. But we're gonna go back upstairs. And we'll probably kill the boss and then kill like one of these guys, which should give us the last percent that we need here.
Soldiers of Maldraxxus! Are you ready for some carnage? A rising star now picks the longest reigning champion the Theater of Pain has ever known! Ordretha, the Endless Empress! Behold my power and despair!
That's unfortunate.
My magic reaches beyond mortal ken. Death itself demands your souls! Accept your defeat! You cannot win. You shall be so ends your trial in failure.
That was pretty silly. So the hunter decided, who's the group leader, decided to pull the pack into the boss. We had 5 minutes left on the timer. We would have had plenty of time. Just kill the boss. As soon as you reach your 100% enemy forces and the dungeon is complete, you're all set. So you could go in, kill this one guy or maybe two guys. Ah, that's so frustrating. The hunter decided to pull these guys while we were pulling the boss, and resulted in this.
Behold my power and
Looks like we're gonna give it a shot. The hunter was doing a pretty decent amount of damage, which is unfortunate. So hopefully we can step up here and do what we need to do.
you shall be swept into oblivion.
Nope.
Reality turns its ire against you. You shall be
So this is the final boss. He does, oh god damn it, he does a couple of simple abilities. He does that frontal cone, which I just ate, which was really unfortunate. He summons ads after the circles come out, and then he does this grip. And the grip, every other one will have ads in it. And then at 50%, the room gets pretty dark and he cranks it up a little bit. He adds in some additional abilities. So we just want to avoid this. This is going to be an attrition fight. So here come the ads again. We really want the boomkin to stay close because we want to kick these in so that we can cleave them down.
My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
I just don't know if this is going to be possible with this group, especially with our main DPS dealer down, which is really unfortunate because now we only have an hour and 15 minutes.
Accept your defeat. So ends your trial in failure.
Helps avoid 15, 12. It looks like we're gonna give it another shot.
Behold my power and despair.
Doesn't seem like the healer's here. Okay, there she is. He is.
My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
So we got the beam,
Reality turns
grasping
its
rift.
eye against you.
This is gonna come out at the same time. Right, so nothing crazy here. I guess I overlapped.
So
That's
ends
unfortunate.
your trial.
Unfortunate. And our key time is over. Sorry, bros, I'm out. So there goes the healer. That's gonna do it. So we're gonna leave the group. Wicked bummer there. Absolutely wicked bummer, because we really just wanted to complete a +2 so that we can get a hero track piece in our vault, and we weren't able to do that. So we're not done yet. We're gonna keep trying. But what we're gonna do now is check a couple things. One other thing that's changed up here in Dornegal is actually this main area right outside the inn. You'll see a couple different quests pop up. We'll go from left to right. So Beergroth, he will give you a quest to do a dungeon on any difficulty, and this will give you reputation, which does get a bonus right now for Winds of Mysterious Fortune. So if you want to target something in the renown track, you can do this once per week. You can only do it on one character on your account. And then this person, Archivist Frithrun, will always have a weekly quest. Right now, during Turbulent Timeways, every week there's a quest to complete 5 time walking dungeons that's going to award a piece of heroic gear. If I wasn't trying to get this +2 done, this would really be my priority. And honestly, it's probably a better priority than what we're doing right now. I might be able to get 5 time walking dungeons before reset and get a piece of hero gear this week. This will be available next week too. And then there's also rotating weekly quests. So this is one for PvP we're not going to do. And then here at High Speaker Brinth, we'll have a weekly quest to loot 100 Titan disc fragments. You get these from like end bosses and stuff like that. And then Faerun has a weekly quest called the Call of the World Soul, which will give you a bonus for doing the Theater Troupe World event. This rotates. So a world event or delves or a dungeon or stuff in the Undermine. So we're probably not going to get any of this done, but we'll take Theater Troupe because we can do it later. These are all going to award you Pinnacle Caches. Pinnacle Caches can contain Fractured Sparks, which can be useful for crafting. So you need a Fractured Spark in order to craft. pieces of gear. You turn 2 fractured sparks into a whole spark. And I'm just going to sell some junk to free up some inventory space. And I'm going to sell my old gear. What I'm trying not to sell are crafting reagents, because I can sell those on the auction house, or I can use them to craft. And we need money. So just targeting old gear here to sell. Equip this tabard, although it is worth some money. So we'll actually just sell it. And then we got these items here.
Have a good one.
I don't know, 5 time walking dungeons for a heroic piece, or I think that's just the way to go. We're just going to queue up for time walking. I'm pretty positive that we can make it in the hour that we have left. See what the queue time is. 7 minutes. Oh, that's probably not possible then. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. And the reason that I'm trying to get a hero piece of gear in my vault, and it would be great if we could get this time walking done, is because next week we're going to get another time walking quest. So if we were able to complete all this before the reset, we would have 3 hero track pieces in addition to our belt here. That would be really great. So we're just going to take a look at what's available in the 2-2 range. This one's already got a rogue in it, and these are both Theaters of Pain. Wonder if that's the same hunter. This group is probably looking for a battle lust, so just going to hold on for right now. So we're going to head over to the auction house. We're going to look at our item level, 594.
I have an extended
The pants,
supply
we
of
have
goods
597, so
for
603 isn't that much higher of an item level. So what I want to do is I want to sell these. Looks like these 603s are selling for 4,000 gold, so we're just going to put these up there. These are selling for a lot less, but we're going to need this gold when we want to start crafting, so we're just going to list some items under there. These crafting reagents aren't selling for too much. The profane tinder boxes sell for the most, so we'll put those up. We don't need weaver cloth or fish or beef, so we'll put that up as well.
my thanks for your patronage.
All right, so all we can do right now is just continue along. I'm going to make a couple macros. So there's a vault macro that will allow you to see what's inside your vault. So you can see here from completing the delves, we'll get 626 gear, which is an upgrade for us. But if we just complete that one Mythic Dungeon or a couple LFR dungeons, we'll unlock another slot. I'm also going to put in a new one for focus target. I think it's set focus. And I'm going to add a keybind. I do shift mouse wheel up and shift mouse wheel down. And in these key bindings, I put the set focus macro. And what that should allow me to do, I think it might have to be one word, /set focus, is if I mouse, oh, sorry, it's mouse over. Mouse over macro. So it's slash focus at mouse over exists. No dead. There we go. So what this allows me to do is if I bind it to shift mouse wheel down, whenever I'm mousing over something, I can set it as my focus target, which interacts with my kick macro because in the dungeon, I can go in and set different things as my focus. So got a couple other groups here. Dark Flame Cleft would be great. Don't really want to go back into Theater of Pain, but I will if I have to. We're still queued for our time walking dungeon. But I just think mathematically it's not possible. We're still too low or don't have access to a keystone. So we need to complete a dungeon to get that. We might just be trying to bite off a little bit more than we can chew right out of the gate, which is okay. If you're watching this and you're like, man, this sucks, my recommendation would be to not try and push this deadline of completing this before the weekly reset, and it would just be to go in, complete the Liberation of Undermine campaign, queue into some LFR, get loot as you acquire it. I'm putting in a decent amount of pressure here because I'm trying to get ahead so that I can reach that goal before season 3, but you don't have to do that. Like, you're just playing the game, you're having fun, and that is perfectly a-okay. And how everybody should be playing it. So all your goal should be right out of the start is getting into LFR, doing low keys, doing Mythic 0 dungeons if they're available. We could go take a look. Try Mythic. Get rid of the filter. 0 before reset. Priory of the Sacred Flame. That'll get us a piece of champion gear in our vault, which is better than nothing. So let's see if they'll allow us to queue in for that one.
You get the delivery to the secret project site yesterday. And whatever's left goes to Venture for munitions testing. Where is Nagelfager's shipment? Don't you make me look bad in front of him.
Ooh, we got a necklace. That's great. It is bind on equip. Could probably be worth something in the auction house, but it's a pretty big upgrade for us, so I think we might equip this one. That's just going to help us get into groups. Now at max level, the time walking dungeons are also going to give you higher item level drops because you'll be at max. So that's another alternative option. Ooh, right here. Wow, that gave us a lot of percentage there, which is great for the quest. Crying Pilsner go first. So this is our time walking dungeon queue. Wow, that hurt. And what we're going to try and do here is just string these time walking dungeons together so that we can try and do 5 within the hour. So time walking this week, which will end in an hour, so it doesn't really matter, is Legion time walking dungeons. So this is the Court of Stars dungeon. I'm not going to go through and explain the boss abilities. It'll come back around and our healer with an inappropriate name wants us to go fast.
Your arrival is fortuitous. Tonight the nobles have gathered in honor
So
of
we'll
the
see how
Grand
quickly we go.
Magistrates. Our spies report that Elisande herself will attend. This presents a rare opportunity to catch her away from her source of power. We'll take a side entrance to the grounds. Too many eyes are watching the front.
So you can tell I'm putting a lot of emphasis on heroic item level or heroic track gear.
Good luck.
There's a couple easy ways to get hero track gear. One of them is going to be from your Great Vault. For example, doing a +2 dungeon. This guy is not going to go fast. Doing a +2 dungeon is going to award you with hero in your vaults. Doing a +10 will award you with Myth in your vault. So just getting a dungeon done will help. The time walking quest is an easy way to get a hero piece of gear. You can see like that's what I'm trying to focus on now, and it's relatively low investment here. You don't have to really know a whole lot about the dungeons. You kind of just go through with your group and plug away. And if you do 5, you'll get just a straight up piece of hero gear, which is great. Sometimes during time walking weeks, there is even more hero gear available to you. You can do the Black Temple raid when we're doing the Burning Crusade time walking, and you can do the Old War raid during Wrath of the Lich King time walking. And if you go in and kill the last boss, you can get just a piece of heroic gear. I think it's the Old War raid. We can kill him. It's fine.
No trespassers allowed! Guards, to me!
In Legion, they like to intertwine dungeons with professions a little bit. So if you're an alchemist, or I think if you're a rogue, you can poison this potion, and at a certain health percentage, this guy actually goes over and drinks the potion. And if you poison it, then you kill the boss. So you'll see him head there in just a second. There he goes. Because I am both an alchemist and a rogue, I went over and poisoned the potion for him. Oh boy. Court of Stars has a lot of walking in it, which is funny because it's in a city.
watch out up here. I've heard tell of a demonic council that draws strength from one another. This foe must be broken. Explore the area and find a way to separate the council members. Divided, they cannot stand against you.
In order to summon this boss, there's different things that you can interact with. You can also kill these different guards that pace around, and they will pull the next boss's lieutenants away from her so that you can fight them one-on-one. So different professions and different classes can interact with different objects, or you can simply kill specific mobs that are over here. So what you'll normally do is go and take a look around at what's available to us. Doesn't look like there's really anything. We had that brew, which is available, I think, for people that have cooking skill and for monks. But even at time walking difficulty, the mobs are still pretty challenging to take care of on your own. Herbalism, you can get a buff if you click on this flower. There's the enforcer over there in the corner. And I think this one's for demon hunters and inscriptionists. The statue, I think, is for jewel crafters. And it's totally random what's available here. There's a wounded elf over here. You can heal him, and that'll summon one of them as well. So, and then after you kill one of the enforcers, another one will spawn at a random location. I thought warriors could use the statue, but maybe they can't. I can use the flower.
What are you waiting for? Check out that noise.
I think the healer's probably right. These guys die pretty quick, so I think we would have no problem taking care of this.
Not very clever of you to challenge all of us.
Oh, looks like they have pretty high, decently high health here. I'm silly. I got stunned.
I'm feeling positively radiant.
the second or the last part of this dungeon, for the third boss, you have to talk to this person to pick up a disguise.
Well so far.
And then you have to go into this area. There's only one more trash mob, but in order to access it, you need to understand, you need to determine clues. So you need to find a spy within these groups of people. So if you go and talk to the different folks that are available, they'll give you clues. So we're looking for a male with short sleeves and gloves and no potions. No potions. Dark vest. And the groups can be down here, upstairs. So we're looking for, these guys all have long sleeves. This guy has short sleeves, is male, he's not wearing gloves. Where else? That's the gloves key. I said no potions. Male, dark vest, short sleeves, no gloves. There he is. You talk to him, and then he escorts you. He's like kind of your spy inside the party. And then he comes up here, and he goes one of two ways. He goes to the right, or he goes to the left. And so the nice thing about time walking is that this is also going to give us some great vault slots, which is refreshing. So you'll see that even from the dungeon, if you just complete one time walking dungeon, the gear is going to be low.
The way to the balcony should be open. It's time to put an end to Elisand.
But it's still going to give us a choice to choose from when we boot up the game the next time. And this is endgame, really. I mean, fundamentally, we're not doing it at the highest level, but at endgame, we're looking for gear from the open world, whatever we can find to get our item level high, to get into LFR raids and Mythic +2 dungeons. Mythic +2 dungeons, you can farm gear in there and keep increasing difficulty. You'll get your own key, which you can list in the dungeon finder and recruit people with higher item level than you to help you complete your dungeons. You can get gear from the end of those and crests, which you can then upgrade. Use to upgrade the gear. And you get into higher difficulty raids, you learn more about the raid, you get into higher difficulty dungeons, you learn more about the dungeons, and you just keep working your way up from there. So, one of the things that's probably worth talking about is like one of my main goals. So I kept mentioning it at the start of this, but one of my goals is 3,000 Raider IO or Mythic Plus ranking. Queue again. Finder. Oh, they all left the group. That sucks. That means our queue time is going to be long again, but that's fine. We'll just do stuff in the Undermine. And we'll take a look at our vaults. So we got 632, item level 632 from doing the equivalent of a heroic dungeon. So still an upgrade for us. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's not hero track. We did a heroic dungeon, but still going to be an upgrade for us. But I mentioned 3,000 Mythic Plus score or Raider IO score. Raider IO is the website that I went to in the video that shows you where to find the best gear. And if you have the Raider IO add-on installed, you'll notice this little box next to your dungeon finder panel. And every time we complete a dungeon, we'll get score. So we're going to try and queue into another dungeon again. Let's see, did we get any upgrades? We got big upgrades on gloves. Let's equip the necklace. Why not? Hail Mary. We didn't get any loot from that. That's kind of a bummer. We got a cool transmog dagger though. So we're 601. We're really close to that LFR level, but let's just see if one more time we can queue into a +2. They both need healers. So damage roll available. We have one Dark Flame Cleft with a Death Knight. So we'll give it a shot. But every time you complete a dungeon, you'll get score. You'll get ranking. And it originated as Raider.io score because it was a completely separate website called Raider.io. It's still active. It's still available. You can go there to see leaderboards and things like that. And then Blizzard adopted that into the game and they called it Mythic Plus rating. So now you'll see folks with Mythic Plus rating as they complete stuff. And it's the same. The score is the same across both the Blizzard Mythic Plus rating and the Raider.io score. And when you hit 3,000, you will get an achievement. That will award you with a cool mount. Dungeons and raids, or within dungeon, might be a meta achievement. Glory. Huh. Supposed to be Keystone Master Season 2, but I'm not seeing it here, which is kind of funny. Master Blaster. Maybe it's a feat of strength? Anyways, if you accumulate 3,000 Raider.io score, you get a mount, which is great. We love mounts. And it's kind of like the last true reward that's available for somebody who's leveling up or somebody who's playing the game with like a tangible in-game reward. If as you move along or as you get accustomed to Raider.io and to like looking at these resources, you'll see people go way higher than 3,000 on their Raider.io score. But that's like the mount is essentially like the highest level with which you'll receive an in-game reward. So by that I mean you get a mount or you get a title. Well, actually that's not true. The title is the highest reward, but 3K is like, you should feel accomplished at 3K. There's still more that you can do, but it really is sort of like the pinnacle for a vast majority of players. The top 1% actually do get a title at the end of the season, but that is definitely very challenging to do for most players. So not everybody does. So we did get into this +2 dungeon. I don't remember which one it was, so we're just going to look at what we're queued for. Mechagon Workshop. We still need a healer. We have 40 minutes until reset, so this is going to be a tight one for sure. I want to be as ready as possible to complete this, so I'm going to stop doing the campaign. And I'm going to go there. So we just took the portal back up to Dornagal. I'm gonna check my mail while we're here. Great, thanks. We're gonna take the portal into the timeways. And Mechagon Workshop is this one over here. You can see portal to Mechagon Island. This is old content from Battle for Azeroth. You can see it up here on the loading screen. To access the dungeon, it's not super clear actually, because your map is just blank. This is a brand new character that's never done anything in Mechagon, but it drops you up on this hill, and if you fly straight across over into Rustbolt, you'll see a meeting stone and this dungeon entrance here. So we did get one more DPS. We're just waiting for a healer. So we can take some time to just talk about the other achievement that we're looking to try and get before season 3 starts. 3KO might be a little bit tough, but the other achievement that we're looking to get is ahead of the curve. So ahead of the curve is the achievement to kill the final raid boss on heroic difficulty before the start of the next season. So this is puggable in a pickup group. Using the dungeon finder, it's just we need to have a higher item level in order to get into that, and we do need to have some basic knowledge of the fight. Much like the +2 key before, there's a high chance of failure in pickup groups. Your best time to do raid reclears is on the weekly reset. So 2 if you're in the US, or Tuesday if you're in the US, and Wednesday if you're in EU. Most of the folks that are like passionate about the game will be clearing the raid on that day. The longer into the week that you go, the less try hard the groups might be. So I would recommend, if you're going for heroic clears, try to do that on a Tuesday if you can. But ahead of the curve is the other achievement that we're going to shoot for. There's pretty sure there's a chance to get a mount from the final boss on heroic. We can look at the loot. Yep, prototype ASMR. The mount, there's different mounts that drop off of final bosses. Usually there's a guaranteed mount in the final raid of the expansion for getting AOTC, and then the mythic version of the boss will drop, I think, 3 guaranteed mounts. Ease to the big G. So pretty cool mount. A lot of people like it. It's basically Galliwix's head, and it's got some big guns on it. You can see your guy will be up in the top there piloting. So very sought after, but requires obviously a lot of coordination, a guild, mythic rating, that level of dedication. Usually will probably take you really good guilds that are super efficient can do it on a 2-night-a-week raid schedule within a couple months of the raid releasing. Most guilds will take 3 raid nights to defeat it within a few months of the raid releasing. So, and then obviously there's really good guilds that can do it under even greater time constraints. So ahead of the curve and 3,000 Mythic Plus rating is what we're going for here with this character. We don't have too much time left to complete that. And we don't have too much time left to complete this +2 dungeon. We're really hoping for a healer to queue up here. So we're not in the time walking queue anymore. We're just kind of banking on this. Now, once we do complete this +2, we'll get our own +2 keystone, which will make this process significantly easier. We won't be doing it the first thing in the morning on a Tuesday. We can run this on our own schedule, and we can level this up by ourselves. So if you have your own keystone, you can complete a +2 and you'll upgrade the keystone. So if you just barely time it, you'll increase it to a +3. If you do it really quickly, you can get all the way up to a +5. The +5 is going to change the rewards that you get. You're going to start getting runed. Well, I think you get runed crests from a +2, but you're going to get more crests. You're going to get higher item level gear. And then once you hit certain breakpoints, like +6, +7, you'll get heroic track gear and gilded crests. And all of that will be used to build our item level and increase it. So you might not necessarily have too much success getting you know, a 600 item level character with no tier pieces or tier sets into a +6, but there's a potential chance that you could, if it's your own key and you've worked it up there. I would recommend just trying to get more baseline pieces, which you can do relatively easily. So one of the other things that we haven't really focused on too much is the crafted gear, because we wanted to complete the Liberation of Undermine campaign so that we would get our heroic crafted crest. You can take your Sparks of Fortune, and you can get these from your weekly caches, your weekly chests. So completing those quests that I showed you earlier, like the Titan Disc Fragments, the Delve quests, the special assignments, and the World Soul, I think it's called. Let's see. Well, let me expand, but the World Soul Encore to complete the Theater Troupe or Delves or whatever you pick. That will award you with these Pinnacle caches, and those Pinnacle caches should contain Fractured Sparks. So you can pretty quickly complete 4 of these, gain 2 Sparks, and go ahead and craft in some of your item slots that will be a craft for 645 item level at max rank. So like right now, for example, my gear is okay. I have a low ring and I have a low helmet and shoulders. I don't really want to craft these because they are tier slots. So like using this spark to craft a 645 ring is going to bring me up 100 item levels. I want to save 1 spark. I want to save a spark for each of my priority crafts. So those are going to be my weapon, which I'm going to use the heroic crest for, and they're going to be my embellishment slots. So embellishments are optional pieces of optional reagents that you can add to crafts that will imbue the weapon or armor with special abilities, similar to this Nightfall Curseblade cudgel. You can add armor patches to increase critical strike and versatility to your armor. You can add gemstones that unleash your gems powers to your rings and necklaces. You can add inscription items to your weapons that increase stacking stat increase. Looks like we got a healer. Let's hope this works. Get him, get him, get him, get him. We can do it. Say, yeah, grab healer. Sneaky Guns got it. I'm at the summoning stone. Nobody else is, though. We lost the guy that went offline. All right, we have 29 minutes to get through this dungeon. Help me summon. Or is he already inside? He's in the time ways? No. Mechagon. This is going to be a fun one. a fun little race. No, don't just fly in. Oh, he just flew right in. There we go. Sneaky gun came back out. Oh, we got a double rogue key. Pog. I hope the tank is here. I thought he was the group leader. He's here. All right, 25 minutes on the clock. Tank, healer, Moonberry, come on in, buddy. Should be able to do this in theory. 634 is pretty good. He's got a lot of veteran gear. He probably sent this over from another character. 638. Moonberry's 647. Oh, we're just going for it. No pull timer, no ready check. Let's rock and roll. So, Operation Mechagon Workshop. Obviously, you just saw how to enter here. The first pull is in this big, like, arena, essentially, this big dome. These bombs have a detonate cast that is a must kick. So there it is. Sneaky got it. I think this bear might be a little pull shy, which is okay. We just almost died from that. Just okay. So we're dodging a whole lot of stuff here. We're trying to dodge the AoEs that are on the ground. We're trying to dodge the buzzsaws that come out from the wall. And we're just going one pull at a time, which, like, up here would be a little bit nicer to get more than, you know, one pull. So we just set that circle bomb as our focus. We're hoping that he's going to kick the other one. Okay. Sneaky's got circle, so we'll kick the next one. This one is my target. All right. This is going to be a tight squeeze. That took a long time. So this first boss is a two-boss encounter. We have this tank on the right side and this big pummeler. The tank is responsible for bringing this pummeler to these hammers when he gets plating. The tank will charge and lay bombs, and this guy will do a big AoE basically. So my recommendation is usually to target the plated guy because there can be some delay. With the tank, but you might have to swap between both. You really want to try and kill them both at the same time if possible. And so the tank is laying those battle mines on the range guy back there. He does this charge. Now you can see this guy got his platinum plating. We're trying to ping and indicate to the guy that he needs to go to the hammer. There's the hammer. Somehow is close enough. We lost our hunter. What? I don't know. Bombs, it seems. We're getting a res from the healer. I can't believe that it hit. That's crazy. All right, we got 4 bosses in here. Let's see if it's mathematically possible. Okay, that was unnecessary. Come on, where did he go? All right, this is about to get spicy. When you kill one, this one just starts pulsing electric damage. We're gonna cloak to try and avoid some of that. Lost Moonberry again.
But we're still throwing them out with the trash. Trash, 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 trash.
Just have to keep moving. No, you gotta kill more. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pressure you, but you gotta kill more. I don't want to pull for someone. I do wish I had Tricks of the Trade active, but... Nice little cheat death there. No cheat death? Alright, I'll take it. really don't want to pull for the gentleman, but the healer seems competent, and we need to go faster if we want to complete this. Not only just time it, but if we want to complete this before reset, which we do. Because if the server's shut down and we haven't killed the final boss, we just don't get anything. Oop. Do damage though. Feeling good about that. I didn't really get much time to talk about those. Those mobs, but they do some AoE abilities. They put out a heal absorb on the group that the healer works to heal off. And these guys put a debuff on you that hits pretty freaking hard. So I just drank a potion to deal with one that was on me. So Cujo is an annoying boss for melee, which is kind of a bummer because we're all melee. Cujo does this venting flames ability, which requires you to line of sight behind this box. Pretty straightforward. And after that, the box explodes. Then he does this little charge. He drops another box. He does this little charge. That'll target 3 players. You don't want to hit the box with your charge because it will light the box up, and we don't like that. If you're a tank, you want to try and tank him near the box so that we can quickly go around the corner and sort of milk some damage. And when he's doing this AoE, you want to get behind the box so that you don't die, because you will die. And then he also, for healers, he puts a debuff on the tank. When you dispel the debuff, it will do AoE damage. So this is a little bit rough on the positioning here because he's going to cast Venting Flames, and this box will actually explode. It just did a ton of damage to everybody there. But it's okay, we all survived. It's just a +2. And that's it. Rinse and repeat. Box comes down. Debuffs go out. Tank debuff goes on him. Gets dispelled. We take damage. Hide behind the box. This is gonna be tight. I don't think we're gonna make it. So after that boss, you want to run up here and you go along this conveyor belt. You can click this button to turn off the fire beams. It's probably impossible, which is too funny. But hey, sometimes that's how it goes with pickup groups, especially at these lower levels. You'll notice an increase in group quality the higher level you go. So don't let this little foyer into Mythic Plus dungeons dissuade you. Just keep practicing, keep getting into groups, keep getting more gear, and you'll see. We're not going to stop here. This is just the first step.
So, you dismantled a few of my lesser inventions.
But these mobs in the second half of the dungeon, these MK mobs, they do a pretty gnarly AoE called Short Out. You'll see it here. It looks like physical damage, but I'm pretty positive it's magic damage, so you don't have to, if you have a way to decrease magic damage taken, you can use that. We're also going to get access to these little guys that put these shells down on the ground, and will reduce the amount of damage taken. So we're just, I don't know, I'm pretty positive this is impossible to do in 8 minutes, but we'll just see it out. And when the servers go down, I have to go. So I will do my sign off now and let you know. Thank you for watching. The next thing that we will be doing in this guide is continuing. So you've made it to endgame if you followed along this far. Basically what we're going to be doing is trying to complete the highest content that we can. So in the beginning, we're going to do exactly what we did today. We're going to continue to complete the Liberation of Undermine campaign. The reason that we're doing that is because we'll get a piece of heroic crafted gear at the end. And we're going to, this is a little gauntlet. You can't get seen by these guys. A little secret tip, you can jump over this box, and if you hide in these vents, if you hide in these vents, it will, it'll allow you to bypass that, so these vents you can't get touched, so you jump over the box here, hide in the vent. When this guy comes back around, you go around. Oh, I'm gonna die. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is just the same thing that we've been doing. This time I'll actually take the time to do the Mythic Plus, or do the time walking dungeons to complete, to get a piece of hero gear. That'll be a big help. Hopefully it's not a belt. We will continue to do Mythic +2s. We'll get our own key. We'll start forming our own groups. We'll get into the LFR difficulty of the raid. So we'll be going in and just defeating all the bosses, trying to get some pieces of tier. Just kind of waiting for this group to sort of fall apart. But that's what you can catch next time on episode 11 of the New Player's Guide to Retail World of Warcraft. Unfortunately, today was just 2 untimed +2s. Definitely could have done a little bit better planning wise. I think a better use of our time would have absolutely been on the on time walking, just to get that guaranteed heroic piece. This tank, I don't think actually knows what the heck is going on. So I'm gonna just die and we're gonna just watch it out and see what happens. We did get the battle res, but 3 minutes just ain't it. So GG's to the team here. This boss, the third boss here, I'm sure you've noticed the mechanics here. He summons these blades. These blades last the whole fight, so the longer the fight lasts, the more blades come out, and they do a lot of damage at higher key levels. There's also some ads that summon. They like hyper fixate and focus on one target. So you want to try and prioritize those down, especially before these beams come out, because as you saw, that's what killed me last time. Oh god, we're all dying. Those beams do a ton of damage, so you really can't get hit there. But I think I'm gonna say GG. Just a couple minutes short. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. We won that one. What an awesome roll. Thanks for watching again. We're going to cut it off here. Appreciate all the support, the likes, the views, the subscribers. Next time, I promise you, we're going to be getting some more gear than we did this time. We did increase our item level. We broke 600, so that's great. And we did get some stuff in our vault. So we've got 3 vault slots. They are lower, but they have a chance to drop tier pieces. And that's really what we're going to be trying to put together. So we'll go in next time. We'll talk about the Great Vault. I'll show you what that looks like. We'll make our first choice, which is great. And then we'll just start filling out all these different gear slots. We'll work on crafted gear. We'll get back into Mythic Plus dungeons. We'll step into the raid for the first time, and we'll just talk about all of the things that are available. And again, our goal, 3K IO, and ahead of the curve before August 5th. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support.